It's your kids, hear you crying down the hall. All right. What is going on, buddy? Oh man. What is there to do today? I do got some daily moments to do, of course. It looks like May 19th, 2016, Chris Sale tossed a complete game and a 2-1 victory and improved to 9-0. He became the first White Sox pitcher ever since 1919 to win his first 9 starts of his season. Player locked to Sale, tallied 6 strikeouts without allowing a run. What's up, Vic? Next is tally 3 hits with Richie Ashburn, and then get on base 2 times, tally 1 extra base hit with Jackie Robinson. So we got some good old whatchamacallit's daily moments to do. I've already breezed through my tops now. I breezed through the Holiday and Friends, which, if you don't know, Roy Halladay is now in the game. Big deal there. Challenge of the week. That's brand new today as well. Let's see what we're dealing with. Looks like we're getting Joe Kelly versus Andrew Benintendi. That'd be a righty versus a lefty. Not too shabby if you ask me. Winner gets 40,000 stubs. Originally it was a Ohtani signed jersey. Second place was a signed ball, and then third was like a I don't remember what third was, to be honest with you. I thought it was stubs, but I could be wrong. What else can we do? Figuring some things out here. Also, I added to the squad Juan Pierre. I just thought his bat and his speed was an absolute must for the top of my lineup. Especially the steals. This is a 600 stolen base club. And as you can see, his stats, attributes are absolutely nasty. 104 versus righties, 106 versus lefties. As contact, his power is really low, but the contact really does pick up for that. His vision's a 116. His you just keep plate discipline's a 60. His clutch is a 96. Bunt, D-bunt, not sure what the hell that means, and durability is all 99s. Fielding's an 82. Arms a 66. Acceleration is a 62. His reaction is a 90, but his speed, steal, and base running aggressiveness is all 99s. This is a very nice card. I have enjoyed it somewhat now, and I want to keep using them. Also, I did add Will Myers to the squad as well. 95 contact versus righties, 96 versus lefties, and 81 power versus righties, 72 versus lefty. And his plate vision's a 67. His discipline's a 75. His clutch is a 104. His bunt is a 35. Durability is 77. Fielding 81. Arm 84. Acceleration 78. And his reaction's an 83. And his speed's an 84. And then the base running is all not there. But good bat to have. And more reliable defensive placement for me than having Brian Reynolds and Tommy Edman out there, which God love Brian Reynolds, but I just want to try something different here. Also snagged up Mike Napoli. By getting Mike Napoli, all you had to do is complete the Rangers Life Series collection, and I did get that. And so I really don't roll with a backup catcher on my team, but Mike Napoli is a exception just because he is a backup first baseman as well, because I don't have anybody else that can play first base outside of Rafael Devers. And so Napoli would just be a good backup just in case. My rotation, I did add Jack Leiter to the rotation, and I haven't been a high roller on pitching. Starting pitching, I truly believe it's what's all in the bullpen, and I got proof for that right here. I got Houston Street now. I really haven't worked with him that much, but whenever I have, he has shown a lot of strikeouts for me. And I know his Ks per nine is a 94, and his hits per nine is a 104 as well. But he has absolutely he set almost everybody down that I've played in events. The slider's absolutely nasty. As you can see, the pitch control on the slider, we have a 91 pitch control, and then the break is a 94, as you can see in the top right. Did you see? No, I did not. Good for him, though. For real, good for him. And then I also added Joe Nathan to the bullpen as well. Awesome arm. I can't ask for anybody better right now than to be my actual closer in this game. He's an absolute unit out there, and I've only used him, I believe, once. But whenever I have, he has absolutely given me everything I need. One strikeout has sat everybody down. Pitched one game, pitched 2 innings, and can't complain. I really can't complain. And you can only get him. I forgot how you can get him, but you can't buy him or anything. So, Kenley Jansen's new, but he hasn't been as new as these guys that I've been talking about just now. But my favorite pitcher in this whole thing, if I had to pick 3, number 3, I'm going to go from top to bottom. Well, bottom to top. Number 3, I would have to go Emmanuel Clase as my third go-to type of thing. He's just been reliable. It's the velocity that nobody can catch up with, and that's absolutely disgusting whenever you're playing online, and it's needed. So Emmanuel Clase, and he has a cutter that is absolutely sickening. The only person I can compare his cutter to as a closing pitcher as himself is Mariano Rivera, and there's not a lot of guys that have that type of incy type of thing to him, you know what I'm saying? So Emmanuel Clase is definitely my third go-to. My second go-to in all this is Steve Seashek, and this card, good God, it has gotten me out of so much trouble. As you can see, I pitched 6 games with him so far. I have 2 saves, a 0 ERA, an 83 WHIP, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks. So yeah. Oh, okay. No problem, Vic. And I'm only giving up 3 hits. And so he's been absolutely reliable as hell for me. And so I've been just wheeling and dealing with him. But the final pitcher, that my number 1 go-to pitcher in all of this, it has to be Ryan Presley. And good God almighty, we've hit in some rough patches with him because there's some people that can absolutely, ding on the guy, but an 83 overall is now an 88 on my team. As you can see below the 83, it says 88. He has been absolutely all reliable. 31 games, 7 wins, 6 losses. Hear me out here. He has a 5.9 ERA, but 34 strikeouts, only 6 walks, 5 holds. I've given up 36 hits with him, but as I can say, most of the time, he has been absolutely nasty out there for me, and I whenever I bring him in, whenever you see me bring him in, it's usually whenever I'm like, well, fuck, I can't get out of this without him, and we get out of it most of the time, so, pretty happy about all of that, so, and we're almost to a tier 4, well, not almost, but we're about tier 4 in him, so, yeah, there's that. And so that's how it's been going pretty much so far. I'm almost to the 84 overall. Roy Halladay. I don't plan on using this card at all. I plan on starting out using with this 87, and then hopefully in time I can get to his 95 overall. I can only hope. So I've completed the conquests. I mean, I've completed almost everything except live series exchanges and all that stuff, so it is what it is. Wearing my Baltimore Orioles hat tonight in honor of Adley Rushman and his debut tonight. What a debut for the kid. I'm so excited for him, and greatness has began in Baltimore. And I cannot express that enough to anybody. the dude's going to be the next catcher that's going to be Hall of Fame bound, and I can sit here and I can confirm that. Absolutely can confirm that till I can speak it till I'm blue in the face. So, Adley Rushman is going to be the next great catcher to play the game. And if you're not on his bandwagon now, like I have since he's been drafted out of Oregon State, then don't jump on it whenever he's already hit an all-star game. I guarantee you right now, he has a legit shot at making an all-star game his rookie year. That is legit stuff. I'm not saying he's going to be starting, no way, but he's definitely him and Cedric Mullins, Ryan Mountcastle, John Means, Anthony Santander, and just a bunch of guys are going to be able to turn that franchise around to where they're back to where they were in the early 2010s, where this was a playoff team. You know, these guys were competitors, and I think, you know, Adley is almost he's got to be the final piece to it all. And you'll see later on going into the year that these dudes are going to be competing. No one said playoffs, but these dudes are going to be competing as they already have at the beginning of the year. Adley is just going to be the captain of this team, and I'm telling you now, him and Cedric Mullins are going to be an absolute unit together. And it's going to be a team that's going to be around for a while. So, a lot of good relationships over there, for sure.
Live from beautiful
really excited for them.
Here in Denver, Colorado, we've got Diamond Dynasty Baseball tonight. It's Venus taking on Oklahoma City. So just about set now, and now the center fielder, Cedric Mullins.
All right.
The pitch. Pulls that one foul.
First pitch, 7 o'clock.
Next one misses, and it's a ball and a strike. The next offering misses, and it's 2-1.
And as you can see, you know, it's a new setup. I'm on the right side of my screen this time instead of the left side of my screen, so it's a little different, but I'm definitely going to get used to it, so don't worry.
Ball to right center. Pierre going back some more, and it gets by him. Next to hit, Paul Molitor.
Batting second, the shortstop.
That one's in there, 0-1.
I got a couple bucket list cards that I've been looking to mark off my want list. As you know me, I'm a big card collector, and there's still a bunch of cards out there that I've always wanted to collect, and I've never had a chance to get to. Yesterday, I got a Manny Ramirez prospect card, Kenny Lofton rookie card, Jim Tomei rookie card, a Derek Bell. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that, you know, you don't really hear much of around, like, these days, unless you play the show, or you just know your history of your team, or just baseball itself. But I'm really, really happy I got that. And there was a card that had, it was, I believe it would have been Ken Griffey Jr.'s third year in the league. But him and his dad and his brother were all taking a picture together, like a team picture. And it's the only card of all three of them on and off at the same time. Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr., and Craig Griffey. And I know it's kind of weird, you know, it's his name Craig, and there's two Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. over here, you know what I mean? But still one of my favorite cards that I've never got to actually lay my real eyes on until just yesterday. And the big one, the big motherboard. I finally got I can't believe I got a hold of it. And it's in perfect condition. Definitely going to be sending it into SGC. Instead of PSA, SGC is becoming a new grading company that is up and coming, which when I say up and coming, they're sitting number 2 right now. It used to be PSA number 1, Beckett number 2, and then just a little winky-dink company at number 3. But SGC is now sitting in safely number 2 for cheaper prices than what PSA is offering. And I'm talking hundreds of dollars difference. And so, this card that I got, I'm going to be sending into SGC, and that's only for $15. And perfect condition, and so I'm almost
Ball,
positive I'm going to get it back at a 9, 9.5. 10 is kind of going overboard, but I'd be shocked. But it's a Joey Votto Topps rated or Topps rookie card. Joey Votto, and I am absolutely ecstatic about that. I never thought I would be able to get my hands on one of my favorite first basemen rookie cards ever. You know, these cards are definitely kind of harder to find. You can find them on eBay, but condition-wise, centering-wise, they're not worth a damn. Getting them perfect like these are almost hard to find. And so I'm pretty happy about that.
Make sure that he can clearly focus on that pitcher and that release point.
Stays alive.
Overall, it's been a good week.
In the dirt. To third, not in time. He's safe. It's second and third with 2 gone. 2 on, 2 outs. And that one is lifted in the air. Mullins drifts towards it. Makes the play, and it's out number 3. Welcome back. Now it's the right fielder, George Springer.
Leading off toward the
pitch.
The right fielder, George.
And that one fouled off. Out to short. Franco collects. Throw to first is in time. 1 out in the second.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
In the air, right field. Pretty well struck. That one carrying. On the warning track. And hauls it in.
This lineup's going to have to find a way to make him work a little harder out there on the mound. I mean, he is just mowing him down. He's settling in. You got to make him uncomfortable. Maybe
well, I definitely got this guy where I want him. Mark Pryor is willing to do it. What's up, Vic?
Looks at that one inside.
But I definitely got him where I want him.
That's out to center field. Pierre moving under it.
I think we can win this game. I really do.
Pulls it down and he makes the catch. And that's the 3rd out.
Got Napoli coming up, Acuna.
Now here is
I think we're in good hands right now.
The catcher, number 25.
the pitch.
Come on, Nap.
This one high in the air to left center.
Napoli. Napoli.
Makes the catch for the out. And the batter now, Chase Utley.
The second baseman, number 26.
And first offering is fouled off.
There we go. I'll take it.
And it finds its way through for a hit. And here is Ronald Acuna Jr. And look out. That one gets him. The second man he's plunked in this one.
These types of mistakes usually turn out to be.
Let's put in Todd Helton. Make him pay.
Really slip away in a hurry.
I usually don't like putting in Todd Helton unless I'm wanting to put on some damage. He's going to sit here and keep on beaming my good guys. Bring it on.
That's a base hit. Throw comes in quickly. Holds that go-ahead run at third.
And look who we have. Juan Pierre, everybody. Let's not hit into a double play, though.
Stepping in is the speedy Juan Pierre, known for his late-inning heroics. Pitch.
He's looking for a ground ball to get a double play and out of this jam.
In the air, left field. Justice under it. Makes the catch.
Come on. Come on. That's offline. It's safe. There we go. That a baby.
It's 1-0.
Sometimes all you got to do is your job and don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. Runner third, less than 2 outs. Put the ball in play, and a nice job with the sac fly.
Bronco in now. Takes ball.
We got Seashek warming up. This should be a win.
Typical bullpen arm in today's game.
Should be a big win for us.
That results in a ton of strikeouts in a tough spot like this. That is a big time benefit.
I can quit swinging at piddle farts.
1-2. Puts it in the air out towards left center. Justice coming on.
All right, Seashek time.
Out number 3.
Akeem Hines, is that who you're saying?
New pitcher now, Steve Seashek.
Or Akeem Hicks, I mean.
Back here at the ballpark, on to the 3rd inning. And now the catcher comes up to him, Francisco Alvarez.
Akeem Hicks. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good pickup, for sure.
And now George
Look at the
Brett.
Seashek action. Absolutely filthy. One of my favorite damn pitchers in this video game.
Fouled off, he was late.
Didn't really like him as much in real life. I mean, of course, it's a video game, so I'll give him credit there. So.
Jazz Chisholm now.
Now coming into pinch hit.
And a seed into center. That's a base hit. So the 1-out hit turns the lineup over. So the batting order turns over.
Probably ought to go to the bullpen, warm up Joe Nathan and David Price, just in case. I don't think I want to need them, but
your base runner, you got to stay dialed in here. Look for anything in the dirt. Try your best to get in the scoring position.
Here comes the pitch. There goes the runner from first. Next offering is fouled back. And a foul ball. He stays
somebody's contact swinging.
Just how quick.
Runner goes again. Stays alive. And the right-hander deals.
Have a seat. Have a seat, buddy.
Shortstop, Paul Molitor.
Watch this. Watch this.
Runner on the go. They pitch out. Now they've got him in a run. And they put the tag on him.
I called it too. That's like some Cam Newton shit. Oh, you've been watching film? Alright, that's cool. Watch this. I definitely Cam Newton his ass.
They hang on to win it by a run.
Clip that. Alright, watch this. I'm clipping that.
Here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
I'm saving that, for sure. Trade Flowers would be sick. You are correct. Do you think they will, though? I mean, granted, you know, there's still going to be, you know, off-season signings, but do you think Steelers have the stuff for it? You know what I mean? And we got a pack to open. First luck pack of the night? Are we getting a diamond or what? What's the deal? What's the deal? We got a gold and Noah Syndergaard. Whoop-de-doo. It's money in my pocket, huh? Oh, man. Yeah. Definitely then. Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? That'd be sick. Okay. 2 more wins, I get a rewind. And I'm probably going to... I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to go after Dante Bichette. Not going to lie. Or Juan Marichal. That'd be a nice... That could be a nice card. Vic, what do you think here? Once I get... See, as you see, it goes by wins on here. Once I hit 7 wins, who do you think I should get? Dante Bichette. Hey, Riley! What's up, my dude? Understandable. What do you think I should get, Vic? Should I pay attention to the diamond ratings this time, this go around, or should I just go with what I think's best for my team? Because Dante Bichette would be an awesome power bat. You know what I mean? But he's not, you know what I mean? Oh, living the life. Juan Marichal would be an awesome pickup for my rotation, but Nelson Cruz, he'd be a liability out in the field, but goodness gracious. We already have Suarez. We already have Trevor Story. We got Bumbo. We have Johnny Bench. So I'm looking at, you know, do we want Wade Boggs? Do we want Bob Gibson? Greg Maddux? Tim Salmon? We already got Seashek, Honus Wagner, Don Sutton, Willie Mays, Alfonso Soriano, or Nolan Ryan. Because for me, there are 3 cards that I'm looking at, and it's these 3 right here. Marichal would be an absolute unit for me. I would have to take out somebody, though, that I've been working with, and I don't want to, and it'd probably be Jack Leiter, to be honest with you. Of course, there's going to be more Jack Leiter cards on down the road, but 92 Marichal is going to be hard to come against anywhere else. I mean, he's going for about 13,000, so it's not that crazy, but Dante Bichette would be a fun card to get to me, and it would. So I don't know. When we get there, we'll figure it out. And also, it looks like once we hit 8 wins, we get a 91 overall Aaron Nola. So maybe I don't need to get Marichal because, again, when we think about my rotation, we got a Tier 5 Carlos Rodon, a Tier 5 Tyler Glasnow, we got Jack Leiter, we got Yuri Perez, who's Tier 4, and then we have Madison Bumgarner, who's a Tier 2 now. And so if I was going to replace anybody, it'd be Leiter because he's not tiered or anything, so it'd be Aaron Nola. I just don't think I could go with one Marichal at that point. And Aaron Nola, this 91, would be nice. We sign one of the top free agents, we will be better. Well, yeah, anybody could be better. You know what I mean? So that's understandable. And then we get Paul Molitor at what was it? 12 wins. That'd be a cool ass card to have too. I know it's first base, but it'd still be a good backup, you know. So who knows at this point? But we'll get there when we get there, and when that happens, then we'll make some decisions. Do we want to sell them, get some extra spending money on here, or, you know, because right now I'm pretty content with what I have on my team with Rafael Devers over there at first. The team I'm using right now is obviously not my real team because you have certain restrictions on these events on who you should, you know, use, you know, and so it's NL and AL East players, and so far it's been pretty fun. So we'll go out and pitch Chris Sale this game. Who are we going to be hitting against? Hopefully a bum. Taylor McGill. He's pretty good. So, I guess we're going to find out. Looks like we're playing at Old Mets Stadium. I changed my whole room around, Vic. Yeah, I switched my whole room around. So, the TV used to be right there. Now it's over here.
All right, ready to get underway. And now here's the speed.
All right, yeah, this is definitely Old Met.
Pierre. That one the other way.
Juan Pierre.
Throw on to box. One up, one down.
Man.
Here's Wander Franco.
Not how I wanted to start out, but
The shortstop. Wander.
First pitch, and he just misses.
there we go.
Swinging a ball
Finding the
left
gap.
field.
That's all I
That
want.
one's
Find the
carried.
gap.
One hops off the wall. Should be extra bases. And he starts his afternoon off right with a double. And a go-ahead run into scoring position. 1 away.
All right, Will Myers.
Will Myers now
The right fielder.
swings through that one.
Come on, big guy. I need you here, pal.
Second base, you want to be quiet out there, not bouncing around.
If I was a sucker.
Your teammate, the hitter, make sure that he can clearly focus on that
Hey,
pitcher and that
hey,
release.
that advances.
Chopper
That
right
definitely
side.
advances.
Tosses
That
to
counts.
first. That's it out.
I will take it.
Now it's
Just look who we got up.
That is good. The first baseman. Rafael.
2 outs with a runner at third.
I'll be shocked if I don't put it in play here with him. I'd be shocked. I'm shocked.
And a miss, and that is that.
RBI opportunity. I left the duck on the pond.
We go to the bottom of the first. And
darn.
Now Kenny Lofton.
It's all right. Chris Sale, one of the harder pitchers to hit against in the game. So definitely would be. It's going to be interesting to see how he adjusts to his angle of how he throws from. So
Line drive, base hit.
Well, spoke too soon. He's got a 99 speed on, so I need to be weary of that, of course, but
here's the pitch. Runner goes.
I ain't catching him. No need to do that.
Lofton at second with nobody out. And there's something you don't see very much in today's game, the pitch out.
I'm going to pitch out one more time.
They try another pitch out. And Sale deals. There's a swing and a miss.
So important for him to control the heart rate right now. He's got to go through the heart of this lineup.
All right.
No outs. Runner on second. Oh, that fastball drilled him.
It's all right. Double play. I didn't mean to hit him, but.
And he hit him.
Now that can happen when you're trying to dive out over the plate so you can control the outer half. Very difficult to get out of the way of good velocity in.
Definitely not a situation I want to be in.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That's for sure.
Not even close there. And a count 2-1. Sale ready. Ripped down the line, base hit. Here comes the runner. And that's going to kick into the corner. 1 run across. He is saved. Eugenio Suarez up
no outs.
Big time power. And he swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Base hit. 1 run is in. Runner stops at third, and they're at the corners with nobody out.
No bueno.
It's Ray Boggs now.
We're already falling apart in first inning.
Great cut to Franco for 1, and they get him easily at first. It's a double play.
At least a double play.
Now at the plate. Good contact guy, good defender. And he swings and misses at the initial offering. Next offering misses, and 1-1. Sale delivers. And now the count 1-2 after the swing and the miss. On the ground, right side. Base hit and a run in to score.
It'll take a miracle to win this game, folks.
This guy has turned into
It's going to take a miracle.
First pitch, and that's in for a strike.
This guy's going to have to absolutely fall apart if I'm going to
that one
have a chance.
Center field back there. And that one is going to go. Francisco Lindor takes him deep, and they throw a pair on
every now and then I get into games like this, you know.
Now batting Wander Franco on the ground.
There we go. Had a baby.
On the money.
But I ain't gonna quit on it, so. Yes. Huh? Okay.
Top of the second. Here's the third baseman.
I just don't want to turn more.
McGill back to work. And a foul.
What are you doing?
Kicks and fires. And that's outside.
What are you doing? Okay.
Swing and it breaks his bat. Lindor.
Watch out.
And there's one away. Here's the power hitting catcher, Mike Napoli.
The catcher, number 25.
Good night, Creed. Strike.
Tries to hold up,
ball.
appeal to first. No swing. Gary Simmons with the call.
Should we go do challenge of the week after this, anybody?
And a pitch.
What do y'all think? Maybe go take some frustration time on some baseballs with somebody else. With Andrew Benintendi.
Nope, he held back. That one fouled off.
This is a very important inning here. After scoring all those runs, you want your pitcher to come out and just mow them down.
There we go.
Right.
All right, Vic, I'll do that.
And it gets by him.
Well, liability to have Nelson Cruz out in right field.
Second with one away. So man aboard. Now it's the second baseman, Chase Utley. Now a high fly ball out to left center. Grabs it on the run. That's out number 2. Here's Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate.
I need to go to my bullpen, warm up some guys that I don't really usually pitch with. Well, so I'm not wasting other guys, so no big deal.
Fought off foul. Napoli stands at second with 2 gone. Next offering is fouled back. In the dirt. One and 2 now on Acuna. And a foul ball, he stays alive. And the righty deals. And that one fouled off.
Well, he's desperately looking for that swing and miss. He's going to have to just change speeds a little bit, try to move it around, create just a
great battle and
makes the catch in and go.
Victor, have you ever done Challenge of the Week?
Your attention, please.
Bottom half of inning number 2, and now the pitcher, number 48.
Now coming into pinch hit.
And
oh my goodness.
That's on its way. Turning, looking, and that one is gone. He blasts one out to center, and they add to the lead. It's 6-0. Now it's Jordan Romano out of the bullpen. Big deficit here, but he's still got a job to do. And now
Challenge of the Week's fun. It's definitely challenging.
Is fouled off.
So it's one of my more favorite things
that
to
one
do
is absolutely belted.
You know, I get a little bored or frustrated.
And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. And that's a double. And now here is Cedric Mullins.
Now batting.
In the first pitch, misses for ball 1.
With the big bats coming up and a home run already.
Oh, it's in the show 21 as well. It's in the show 21, 20, 19. It's been in the show for a while.
That was a good pitch to hit right down the heart of the plate. Had pretty good timing on it. Just got underneath it a little bit and popped it up.
Cruz, the next to hit, takes ball 1. Is there a little wrinkle to that? I think there was.
Yeah. A little slider action.
But he's back. Runner at second here, 1 gone. High fly ball down the left field line. Acuna there. He makes the grab. Runner tagging for third, but just bluffing there. Hangs on at second with 2 away now.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
The third baseman, number 7.
He swings and drives one out to deep left field.
Oh! Wait, no one to catch?
He pulls into second, and a run comes in to score. And here's the first baseman. Wade.
I didn't catch that?
Now back.
Are you kidding me? That's an out, dude. What? That is what? That's a clear out. And they didn't call it an out. Are you kidding me? I just got screwed.
Not close. Suarez on at second with 2 down. That one the other way. That's the third out. Inning over.
I can't believe that. That is so dumb. Clear catch, too. That sucks.
Now a move being made for a pinch hitter, Todd Helton.
That's frustrating. That is frustrating.
Out on the tag.
I don't know what would have lost the game either way, but little things like that, that's... That could be a momentum shifter for all I know. It is a catch, Vic. That's clear evidence. I clipped it, so... I clipped it.
And there's 2 down. Here's the shortstop at the plate. Wander Franco doubled his first time up. First pitch, just misses.
That's frustrating, you know.
Next one off the plate inside. Now 2-0. 2 down, nobody on. And a foul ball makes the count 2-1. Popped up left side.
Just a pop-up show for me this evening.
That's the ball game. This one ends 7.
Darn.
For Chris.
Well, darn. Let's go do some challenge of the week. It's okay, Riley. Oh, that's definitely a video I'm going to post on TikTok at some point. For sure, and on Twitter. That's frustrating. Alright, challenge of the week. We got Joe Kelly versus Andrew Benintendi. The leaderboard is looking pretty scary, actually. 2 million. Yeah, there's no way I want to be touching that, but let's see what we can get, I guess. $2 million. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit unrealistic for me here. Line drive, give me a ×6. Puts me at 2,000. I'll take it. We're off to a good start. And that goes down. This is a strike. Darn. A duck fart. Yeah, difficulty gets higher every time you get a hit. And so now I was on rookie, now I'm on veteran. Every 3 hits. So definitely gets frustrating, I can tell you that. Alright. Home runs are definitely going to come very rarely since he has a 52 power. So line drive. Deep fly ball. Alright. Ah. That was a good one. I'll take that. That was good. Ah. Alright, 2 strikes. Foul. I could contact swing here. I think that'd be a little easier, wouldn't you think? Put a little bit more bat on that, but it's not changing anything, so risk it for the biscuit. Victor, what is your favorite ballpark outside of PNC? Was there a ballpark that's on the very top of your bucket list that you've always wanted to go see? Outside of PNC, where would your number one ballpark that you've ever wanted to go see? Where would it be at? And Riley, that's for you as well. Actually, I'll ask Riley that too. Oh goodness, we're at Legend now. Wish me luck. Nationals. Yeah, that's definitely a nice park. I'd have to say one park that I've always wanted to go to, and it's outside of Pittsburgh, because I told you I'm not picking. You can't pick Pittsburgh, so I'm not going to pick Pittsburgh. My number one would be Baltimore. And it's not because I'm just sitting here wearing the hat either. I've always had a fascination with Baltimore's ballpark, and since they've upgraded it this year, it looks a little bit more enjoyable too for fans. It's an upgraded ballpark now, and so that's always been one of my ballparks I've always wanted to go see in person. And you know, everybody has their ballparks, but Orioles would be mine. Where the Field of Dreams was filmed, I think. No, it's not fake. It was real. It's a real field. Everything's real there, and that's where they played last year for the first time. And every year now they're, doing games there. This year it's going to be Cincinnati and Chicago. Well, the Reds and the Cubs this year. And right after that series happens, and they'll announce next season for 2023 as well. So. No, and my, yeah, for sure. COVID year, 2021 was supposed to be the first year, and my dad was going to take us all. Tickets were a fucking outrageous amount of money. Outrageous. But he ended up taking us, was going to take us, because that was going to be our Christmas present that year. And my grandpa gave him a big-ass bonus that year, and it just said with COVID happening, it never happened. And so 2022 was the first year it happened with Chicago White Sox versus the Yankees. And we never got to. But my dad's aunt, which would be my grandma's sister, she lives in Iowa, about an hour and a half away from Field of Dreams. And she said she went, because she was here a couple weeks ago and I was asking her about it and stuff like that. And she said it looks like they're building a brand, like in a legit ballpark. Not what they already have built now, but they're going to be they are building a ballpark that is in the same area that is to stay for college, for, high school tournaments, MLB games, and things like that. So it's a big deal over there. And I'm glad they're actually doing that. So it's a big deal, and I'm glad something like that's going on in Iowa. Should play there next. They cut off Vic. I can't see all you said there. Oh, next year. See, I don't know how they do that, but I think teams with the most history which I think that's what they're doing with it. You know, that has a big history. Should be able to play there, you know. I think Boston needs to play there one year at some point. I don't know when. And absolutely the Pirates. I think the Reds are playing there this year. I don't know why I'm saying the Reds. But Pirates, Red Sox, you know, those would be some sick teams to see over there. Dodgers at some point. It'd be cool. It'd be definitely real cool to see all that. So, I wish they would expand it to more than just once a year, you know. It would be a big money banker, but I think once they get that stadium built, fully built, I think we're gonna be able to see a couple more, maybe like 2 to 3 series a year over there, you know. Maybe just 2. Who knows? It'd just be cool. It'd be really cool. I want to go to that field that had the really, really tall walls and hey, Lane. I didn't see what it cut off on me, Riley, at the very part, the tall walls, but I'm trying to think. I mean, Polo Grounds, you know, they really kind of, I guess you can say, had tall walls, but that hasn't been around in years, you know. The old field in the old days. Are you talking about Polo Grounds? Oh. Yeah, it would be, because at the time, you know, I mean, it definitely been something to go see, you know, but now it's just kind of like, you know, that's like how I am with it, you know, it's definitely a cool ballpark, but yeah, I rearranged Lane. I'm rearranged for the main part of opening up my floor more for Lincoln to play, because he crawls now, and so it's definitely a bigger floor than what we had. I got rid of the recliner too, so we opened up the room even more, and so it just gives him a bigger space to, you know, crawl around at. So instead of squirming into little spots, there's no little little places for him to go now, and so this is all we got over here. And you know, I was thinking about putting the TV on the wall that has Baker Mayfield on it over here, which I'm still considering doing, just because I feel like over here would be a better play spot for him. It'd be extremely bigger, you know. But I don't know. Kylie was talking to me and said if I want to do that, we can do that tomorrow, which right now I'm liking it. I'm not liking how I'm on the right side of my screen instead of my left. So I'm definitely having to adjust and adapt to that because my steps are over here. Now, granted, I can still put my game chair over there, but it just kind of looks a little raggedy, kind of trashy right there by the steps, right in front of the doorway. And so I'd like to, if it comes to, you know, my choice, I'm going to put it over here on the wall to where I can actually just lay down over here and just play the game instead of just having my chair. My chair would still be here, which I don't mind it, even actually sitting where it is right now, you know, looking at the TV over here. It's cutting off, Vic. It says, I wish I was born when Three River, and it cuts off. I can't see what you're saying. But yeah, I'm going to be if that's what I want tomorrow, then of course I'm still going to rearrange my pictures and stuff. I still got shit to put over here. I'm probably going to put Baker up there, right there, and just other stuff. Three Rivers was built. What is Three Rivers? But, yeah, I'm pretty content with what I got right now. It looks a whole lot bigger in here, either way, with or without the recliner. But that recliner needed to go anyway, so I was just... It ain't that big of a loss, you know, and I got the mini fridge sitting right in front of me. Got kind of like my shelf of games and movies and stuff on over here, left side of the TV. Got my game locker over there too. Got the surround sound all fixed up. Yeah, it's definitely bigger in here, and I feel like I have more privacy because everything's kind of just blocking the windows at this point, and the TV's in front of the windows. I got the instead of the air conditioner hitting my back, now it's actually hitting my front, which is huge. So it's just one of those things. I don't know what Three River Stadium is. I really don't. I don't know what Three River Stadium is. But overall, I'm pretty damn happy with everything so far, so... Who's my favorite before Baker Mayfield? Well, I'd say the Boz, but at the same time, that's kind of, you know, wrong because I never got to see him play. But probably my favorite OU player before Baker Mayfield that I actually have gotten to see play in general. And I'm not going to go... And it's kind of wrong for me to also say to go back all the way like to 2008 and all that, you know, because that was still the times of, you know, still learning the game, not really paying much attention to it. I mean, yeah, sure, I knew who Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray was at the time, absolutely, but I can't sit here and tell you that it was Sam Bradford. So outside of that, probably my favorite OU player outside of Baker Mayfield that has played in the time of me actually knowing what's going on with football, I would probably have to go with Kenneth Murray or that's a hard one, but Danny Stutzman right now is kind of taking a lot for that. You know, Boz, greatest linebacker to ever play the game, college football. You know, NFL's different. You know, things didn't pan out for him there. But college football wise, he's the greatest linebacker to ever play the game. If you need to go watch his 30 for 30 and stuff like that, it's really nice. And if you ever get a chance, you need to read his book. I can't say I got Garrison on it, but it's one of the books that are definitely, if you're an OU fan, you need to go read. His and Barry Switzer's is who you need to go read. Barry Switzer's is probably my favorite. I'd have to say one of my favorite books I've ever read. But the Boz's book, you know, it explains a lot. Yeah. Well, I mean, not really, but at the same time, he got in trouble for doing steroids, and he quit. He had to sit out, and he quit. And so, for him to, you know, sit out, who is your favorite NFL player besides Baker? Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's my favorite NFL player. That's hands down. Hands down. You know, he's always injury plagued, you know, but he's just always been one of my favorite players to watch, even whenever he was at Stanford. He was a fucking beast. One of the good outside of Adrian Peterson, that's one of the guys that I wish that, you know, actually won a Heisman Trophy, and both of them got snubbed that year. Big time. But back to the Boz, he got in trouble and had to sit out. And coming up for the one of their bowl games that year, do I still believe in the Madden curse? I mean, there's too much there to say no to it, you know, to say no to not in believing it. But going up to the bowl game that year, he was randomly drug tested, and Barry Switzer called him into his office, told him, well, you know, you got to do this drug test if you're going to play. You can play in the bowl game. And he was like, yeah, fine. Absolutely, I'll do it. You know, because at the time, I mean, Boz was not doing anything wrong at that point. He was not on any performance-enhancing drugs. He wasn't on steroids at that time either. And I forgot who he considered NCAA itself as a communist group. And you can look up the picture of the shirt that he wore to that bowl game. But long story short, they came back, he tested positive, and there was nothing that he was doing wrong. He was also rehabbing at the time from a knee injury, which later on plagued him in the NFL. And it was a substance that was never outlawed at the time. Nothing that wasn't illegal by NCAA. But they tested him positive for this, the medicine that this trainer was putting him on. They tested him positive and called it illegal. And so he couldn't play in the bowl game that year. Matter of fact, he didn't play any years after that at OU, but he went straight to the NFL, was drafted by Seattle Seahawks. And that was, I believe, the same year Bo Jackson was drafted by the Raiders, and that turned into a big rivalry at the time, before it even started, because it was the greatest linebacker to ever play the game. At that time, it was the greatest linebacker that anybody has ever seen play the game. And one of the greatest running backs to ever step foot in a football stadium, Bo Jackson. And they first met, and I believe it was in Seattle, and Bo Jackson got to get to his say on Brian Bosworth that game. And from there on, that's where the injury happened with the Boz. It was a shoulder injury, and that stuck around to where it just enabled him to, not to perform to what people saw at Oklahoma. And so Brian Bosworth was just injury plagued at that point. And then again, that's what happens when you do steroids. It's your body is coming off of that, and it's not as strong as it was whenever it was doing when you were on steroids. And there's no secret Boz was on steroids, but for that whole thing right there, that's what I consider wrong in the whole thing. Which, you go watch this 30 for 30, or you go read his book, and the book explains a lot more than the 30 for 30 does. But if you just don't want to read it, that 30 for 30 would be something that I would highly recommend in watching. And then it's just called The Boz, The Boz and Brian Bosworth or something like that. How, it'll all make sense whenever you watch it. But yeah, that's the whole scoop on all that, But outside of that, I would definitely have to say Kenneth Murray would be my all-time favorite Oklahoma player. But currently, it's Danny Stutzman, man. It's Danny Stutzman and Ethan Downs. There's nothing more I can say on that. Two badass linebackers. Well, you can call Ethan Downs an end, but either way, those are two, big dudes who are badasses. And plus, Danny, he's a character off the field anyways. But whenever Danny is playing, he does have a lot of Boz similarities in him, and it's insane. Oh yeah, K9, he's a different breed, dude. Kenneth Murray's definitely a different breed. But
so just about set. Here's the second
outside of that, there's another kid that we got this offseason who was committed to Clemson. His name's Jared Kanak.
Foul ball.
And he followed Brent over here to Oklahoma.
Here's your one.
That dude does not look like a freshman. He looks like a grown-ass man out there. Ethan Downs, Danny Stutzman, and Jared Kanak, they're going to be units. And
on the ground to the left, Lindor handles the chance.
It's all going to come together, man. It's going to be really nice.
Third baseman makes the play from the shortstop.
Like I've been telling a lot of other people, you know. What's your opinion on General what? General what? You cut off on me, Riley.
Give him a little bit more trouble.
But like I've been telling a lot of other people, you know, this team's going to be taking a lot of getting used to, just because it's been over a decade since we've actually seen a really good defense at Oklahoma. We've been so used to a mesmerizing offense and minimal to mediocre defense, and now it's switching roles to where, you know, Oklahoma's defense is going to be mesmerizing, and we're going to have a mediocre offense. And I don't want to say mediocre, but at the same time, you can't replace Lincoln Riley when it comes to that stuff. You know, there's no replacing that.
Left field.
Speed D. It's just something that just didn't work out in the Big 12. No one says it's not going to work out in the Pac-12. You know, and it worked in the Big 10, and it worked in the Pac-12 before with Washington State whenever Grinch was under Mike Leach over at Washington State. It worked over there for sure. But I don't have a reason not to say that it's not going to work over there in the Pac-12. Big 12, it is what it is, man. You know, but again, I can't really shame Alex Grinch just for the fact of you're not guaranteed a job. So staying here, you know, it's like that with all the sports. You know, whenever there's a new coach, you don't know who's going to bring in on a staff. You don't know if you're going to be able to stay. So Grinch and a lot of the other staff didn't have a choice other than to follow Lincoln Riley because they didn't know. They didn't know if they would be able to come back. Beatonbow, on the other hand, Kel Gundy on the other hand. Kel Gundy wasn't going to go anywhere, but Beatonbow, he flew out to USC with Lincoln and Grinch and Odoms, and, you know, a bunch of the other guys. You know, Beatonbow he got seen on that plane. But after they landed at USC, Stiglione got a hold of Beatonbow, and only Beatonbow on this, and this is just rumors. And he said, you know, this is who we're getting. I can tell you right now, this is who we're getting. And it was Brent Venables. And earlier in the year, Joe Castiglione went to Clemson and had a campus tour with Brent Venables. And it was just kind of, you know, nobody paid attention to it at the time. Like, why is Joe Castiglione in Clemson? Well, this whole time, I do believe Brent Venables was going to be our guy either way. I really do, because, again, it all makes sense on why USC fired their head coach week 3. It makes sense on why things did not go our way past week 3. And that's that. And, you know, we can't, there's no changing that, you know. And when speaking to Spencer Rattler, being already told that dude was already out the door with Caleb Williams at that time, it's kind of hard to sit here and believe that. But at the time, nobody knew about the USC job. Everybody was conscious about him going to LSU. There's multiple plane flights during the season wherever he went down to Louisiana and had a job. He was interviewing. And, you know, and after the Bedlam game, Bedlam lost. Somebody was going to ask him about the LSU job, and I can remember him sitting here like, he said the person's name, he's like, I'm not going to be the next head coach at LSU. I can tell you that right now. That's what he was saying. And the next morning, around 10 a.m., you get reports about how he's taking the USC job. And so a lot of things started to add up on why, you know, a lot of our recruits were from California in general, Southern Cal to be exact. A lot of them. It started making sense, and there's no secret there that they were using our money on, you know, USC at the time. Lincoln Riley was. but it just makes me wonder on what was he doing the past couple years under not having any thought about leaving. What was he doing under closed doors? Was he actually playing guys before the NIL deal? Probably. And either way, I mean, it's something that it's. I'm glad that it's NIL now, but either way, NIL is supposed to be for sponsorships, not donors or anything like that, boosters, nothing like that. They shouldn't be paying over the table for players. That's not what it's intended for. And last I heard, that's going to go to court here in the next week or so it eventually gets straightened out, and teams are going to get shit hammered for it. So, A&M, USC. I'm hearing a lot of things about Nick Saban in Alabama right now. So. Who knows? So, it's definitely going to be something that's going to unravel itself. Not overnight. It's going to take time. Just like with everything else, it's going to take time to unravel itself. It may not even happen, at the beginning of the year, which is, it's fine. Nothing affects us. There's no, and then again, there's no reason why we should be getting penalized for anything, so.
Just makes everything slow down a little bit, and then from there can really settle in.
It's just, all in all, it's just a messy situation.
And he's down 0-2 as he's.
It's just a big old stanky situation. Did you for real not hear about? Oh, General Booty, yeah, #1 JUCO quarterback in the nation. I'm really excited for him, and Lincoln Riley was recruiting him whenever he was going to commit to Oklahoma. He backed out and chose JUCO, which it's because of grades. And so him being able to stick with Oklahoma after the fact, it's really cool. Really cool. And that speaks a lot on oh goodness, Jeff Levy. It speaks a lot on Jeff Levy and what he's capable of doing on recruiting and things like that as a quarterback coach himself as well. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for General Booty for sure. And again, there's no replacing what Lincoln Riley ever did. But the past 3 years, Jeff Levy's offenses have led the nation consecutive years for the first time in history of college football, and that was at Ole Miss in the SEC. And so that should give Oklahoma fans a little bit of reassurance of what we have coming. Oh yeah, that's a funny name. Like I said, we had the Belldozer, and so I'm gonna call him the Booty Dozer. So I'm really excited for him, but we definitely have a hell of a quarterback right now. Whenever I get the time, I usually like to go watch of what he did at UCF. His time there, and he's just looked. What we're getting in him is, we haven't had a left-handed quarterback in a long damn time, and being able to have that is pretty different, But there's a lot more things opening up for some reason, and you got to think Jeff Levy was the offensive coordinator, and the guy who recruited Dylan Gabriel to UCF, and ever since then he's had phenomenal years at UCF with and without Jeff Levy. Last year being the most phenomenal one. But I think everybody's still sleeping on Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, it'd have been Josh Heupel that year.
On the ground, out to short. Franco on to first.
But Gabriel's definitely going to be. I'm not saying he's going to be the best quarterback in the conference or anything like that. No, I'm not saying he's going to go out and be a Heisman contender. But he has the weapons. He's got an offensive line. He's in the best situation than he was in UCF, and a hell of a lot better conference as well. And I'm really, really excited for the kid. Nick Evers, getting General Booty is going to allow Nick Evers to actually redshirt now instead of being a second string, which is what we needed. And then Jackson Arnold, who's coming in next year. 4-star recruit from Texas. I forgot what city in Texas, but another guy that's going to be in the fight with Nick Evers. It's going to be fun. And then plus we got Dylan Gabriel for 2 years. And so it's going to be fun. Now, expect recruiting to go down a little bit compared to what Lincoln Riley was able to do, which is totally expected. Totally expected. But again, whenever you have a defense, it's going to be able to hold off those really good offenses. And Oklahoma State proved that last year as well. If you want to dig down deep into it, Oklahoma State proved that. A lot of teams proved that against Oklahoma last year. Baylor, absolutely. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what we have coming. Outside of the coaching aspect of it, what Brent Venables is bringing in as a coach, as a family man, as a guy that, you know, cares for you and your family and things like that. They're not built like that. You know, and that's not, you know, self-taught. You got to absolutely give all credit to Dabo Swinney for that. And without Dabo being with Brent, I don't think we'd ever be talking about Brent Venables taking a head coaching job at Oklahoma. But Brent has had a hell of a lot of good influences as head coaches throughout the years, starting with Bill Snyder. Not Bill Snyder. Yeah, Bill Snyder. Then Bob. Then going on to you know, Dabo. So he's had a lot of good guys that have got a hell of a lot of good reputation and good, you know, some good grades per se. You know, and so it's definitely a guy that we can count on. And outside of that, he's changing the culture in Norman, in a good way. And I can guarantee you, we're not going to see any guys that's been arrested, or you know, just in that sense. I don't think we're going to be able to see those guys because, again, your schoolwork comes first under Brent. You know. Transactions aren't a thing anymore at Oklahoma for Brent. What he's putting on the table for us, he's not you know, it's just not a transaction program anymore. It's going to be a taught and earned program, you know, and he's going to be playing the best players, not by name, not by star, like what your recruiting rank was. He's not going to be playing you because of that. He's going to be playing these dogs. He's brought in a coaching staff that, again, he has taught along the way as well, that has came from Clemson. He brought his own guys over, and they understand what the job is, and they're going to get it done, you know. But schoolwork, a transaction where we're not paying players, you know. We're not going to be guaranteeing these guys some you know, you're not going to, let's say, it's not going to be a thing to where, oh, I'm not sure if I want to be here next year. If you're coming, you're gonna want to be here. You know, that's what he's trying to make sure with everybody, and I'm only saying this because through his press conferences, and things like that, it went mute. Okay, what I'm saying is transactions are kind of like, say you're a recruit and I'm your coach. You know, I'm offering you and telling you that you're going to be getting a really good car deal from a dealership down in Norman, or you know, everything's going to be paid for here. Everything you want to get around, you know, state of Oklahoma, we it's all paid for. You know, and here's some extra money for you. It's not going to be under those circumstances at all. If you're going to want to come to Oklahoma, you're going to want to be here. And it's not going to be a transaction-driven want. It's going to be, you know, you're going to want to be here by heart. You know, it's not going to be, you know, over mind. The heart's going to be over your head at some point. So that decision, things like that. And he's making sure that staff everybody's aware of that. And the only reason why I'm speaking on that and why I know all this is just because, you know, he's said it in a bunch of his introductory press conference, things like that. His first speech at the podium, whenever he was introduced as Oklahoma head coach. You know, he's got a lot of promises to be fulfilled, but we have no reason not to trust the guy because again, he means a lot. His word is almost as gold, and I can't think of any time that he's even lied to Clemson or anything like that. And then again, you look in the inside access to, what's being posted on, social media by Oklahoma football and things like that, and you see all these coaches of digging in these players' ass during practices, and at the very end, whenever they go into break in the huddle, every single coach, because there's all position coaches, they get their guys together, and he's like, I love you, and things of that sort. He's letting them know that I love you either way, and things like that. Like everybody here's cared for, type of thing. And you don't see that. It's things aren't built like that. But you can tell that kids that want to be here are going to want to be here, and it's showing. It's showing, and it's not more of a your star recruit, your rankings are going to be playing a part. It's going to be who wants it more, and I think that's more promising than a transaction deal in general. If you're going to come bust your ass, then you're probably going to be playing. There's a reason why we're getting 3-star recruits now, because Brent Venables, go look at his receipts, per se. Whenever he was a DC at Clemson and recruiting, a bunch of those guys are 3-star, 4-star guys. Now, granted, there's been a shit ton of 5-stars under Brent Venables. Nowhere am I saying that it's like Mike Gundy, where he's taking these 2 and 3 stars and making them magically into these, big names, and then they don't pan out in the NFL. You look at what Brent Venables has done with these 3 stars. These dudes are still playing 10 years later. And that's no cap there. And there's a reason for it. Tyreek Hill, yeah, I don't even think he was ranked. Some have him unranked. Some, I don't know what 24/7 had him as, but you're technically right, Riley. But either way, it's just, outside of just winning, man, it's the first go around, with Brent, things were getting figured out, and teams adapted to that. But it was also in the biggest shift in college football history in general. Whenever he was here, the game was shifting into a new age of game. If that makes sense. Because before that, the game never shifted since the 80s. As a whole, if that makes any sense to anybody. Whenever Brent was here, it was shifting, and just in general like that, new caliber guys are coming out of nowhere. New schemes are being made up, new offensive schemes, new defensive schemes, things like that. And then we ran Brent's ass out of here, and to him to choose to come back to Oklahoma after everything that was said, every bad word that was put on his name, to come back here, that should say a lot. Just in general of the school. Bob's preached it, Barry's preached it. This is one of the best schools you can ever come coach at, And again, Bob didn't make, and like Bob was saying, and this will go down in history in general. Bud didn't make, Benny, Bud, Bob, Barry, none of them made. They are not Oklahoma football, and it's what we bring in. The kids are Oklahoma football. Those kids are what made Barry Switzer a Hall of Fame coach, a national champion. Those kids are what made Bob a Hall of Fame coach, a national champion. Those kids are what made Bud a national champion, Hall of Fame coach. And I can keep going. And it's those guys aren't playing. The coaches aren't playing. They're just out there, but they're there to bust your ass and make you better. And things like that. And but outside of just the game itself, man, we should be appreciative of what he's bringing into Oklahoma, just as in general, as a family man. As someone who, like I said, accepts you as if you're you're kin to him. You're never going to hear a coach other than, kissing ass coach such as Kirby Smart, Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban. you're not going to see a coach that's going to, behind the scenes, that's going to sit there and literally tell you need to get, schoolwork comes first. Schoolwork comes first. 2, we need to get you graduated. Then 3 is football. And that's what, and he's explained that so many damn times. I've heard that so many times. Schoolwork, graduating, then that. And I believe one of them was just about their future in general, like a second plan type of thing. And he said that multiple times, and it's been implemented in my brain since he's stepped up on the podium for the first time back as a head, like just in general back at Oklahoma. And so what he's bringing to the table in general, I think we should all be appreciative of that heading into the SEC. And I'm not saying that just because, we're backed up into a corner now in the Big 12. No, not at all. Not at all. This dude has championships, he has every right to prove it. So he knows the standard. His staff knows the standard of Oklahoma. It's no secret, and the players know the standards. And so it's going to unravel itself at some point, and it's going to be fun to watch. We can go we'll win 5 games this year. It's going to be upsetting, 100%. That'd be absolutely horrific. But knowing that we still got a guy that's in the office and the keys to the palace that is going to sit there and bust your ass for all the wrongdoings, and still at the end of the day still can sit there and look you in the eyes and say that I love you, and I just in general say that I care for you and things like that. They ain't built like that anymore, Chief. They're not. And so that's really what at the end of the day where it all comes into play. It ain't about anything like that, because as a fan, yeah, football is football. I want to whoop ass. But then you got to think about the things that are going on behind closed doors, things like that. The kids out there playing, they want to play football too, but like Brent said, they're making a priority that, your schoolwork comes first, graduating comes first before all the fun happens. And that's pretty damn reassuring just for the academic standpoint as well. This isn't, I don't know what the GPA average is in general, what to get into Oklahoma, get into Alabama, and I believe Alabama's pretty damn low too. Really damn low. Lower than Oklahoma, I believe. And so, and again, that plays a lot in, big bimbo recruits, you know what I mean? So, there's explanations all there. So, I'm just real excited, I can say that this is the calmest I've been before football season. Just because I know what the expectations are out of Brent, and I'm just being able to see the spring game and things like that. Everything's so reassuring, and I understand it's a spring game. We have every right to, take what we want off of that. But it's a first look at, new schemes and everything, and it's looking pretty good, Again, it's spring game. Can't really take much off of that anyways. But in general, this is the calmest I've felt. I can't say I'm not excited, but I'm pretty ecstatic about what's to come, what's going to happen this season. Oklahoma, Texas is going to be an absolutely nasty ass game. It's going to have that firepower again. You got a defensive head coach versus an offensive head coach now. So usually it's vice versa. We have the offensive head coach. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how everything unravels, especially, playing Baylor, playing Oklahoma State again. That'll be fun. It's just going to be an experience for sure. A lot of the teams I don't see bouncing back, such as Iowa State losing Breece Hall and Brock Purdy. I don't see them bouncing back being them. I think my sleeper of the year this year is going to be West Virginia. Getting JT Daniels over there from Georgia, national championship winning second stream Georgia quarterback, taking what he's been taught over there to West Virginia and what West Virginia's been doing. It's going to be an exciting time. Texas Tech having one of the best recruiting classes they've had in a while, especially talking about for 2023, top 5 in the nation already. And so Texas Tech's definitely on an uprise. I'm really excited for who they got a head coach and things like that. But Tech and West Virginia are probably going to be my 2 dark horses this year. I'm not going to say I have much expectations out of TCU. I still think they got a lot of things to figure out after replacing Gary Patterson this past season. Oklahoma State, it's going to be one of their things. This season I'll say it like I did last year. The season's in the hands of Spencer Sanders. Losing the best defensive coordinator in the nation to Ohio State is definitely going to be playing a big toll. Losing a bunch of players, it's just going to how are they going to be able to rebound from it? And I think they're going to come out pretty damn hot. I believe I have them with 9 wins this year, 8 or 9 wins. I'd have to go look at it again, but I think it was 9, I believe, regular season. Texas, I think, is absolutely going to rebound. I'm kind of giving them credit there, and I think I'm going back and forth on what I want to happen during the Alabama-Texas game, and I'll be honest with you, I think I'd rather see Texas beat Alabama just for the fact of what's going on with Nick Saban and Alabama itself. So I think I'd like to see Alabama win that, and plus, if you know me, I say it every single year, I hope Texas is undefeated until we play them. And that's what makes it fun. I hope we both are undefeated heading into that. That's definitely, everything's at risk at that point. And so I'm really excited there. Kansas State, I don't see doing much. I know they got Martinez from Nebraska, which is very Skylar Thompson-y, a lot of them, but we saw Martinez last year with Nebraska. He's definitely a squirrely guy, when it comes to, keeping the ball on the ground. No different than Skylar Thompson or Sam Ehlinger, if you want to get into that. But then again, new defense, it will stop that. And I say that confidently. Kansas, I think, is just going to be Kansas. I don't think nothing special there. Hopefully they can beat Texas. Who knows? And then for Oklahoma, it's just, just beating ourselves. And that's bottom line to it, Can't say the morale change is going to really affect us, because if it is, it's going to be for the good. It's just, how the attitudes are throughout the year, Still, I can't say it's not going to be relying on the offense, which it is, but the defense is definitely going to be one of the bigger factors. It'd be cool. I mean, it's Kansas, man. We say that, and then again, we could end up being one of the teams that get beat by Kansas, and it's very realistic, 100% realistic, just thinking about it. We lost a lot of guys this season, man, and a lot of good guys, and a lot of guys to transfer portal. And so it's expectation-wise, it's going to be a show for sure. And absolutely, we almost lost them last year, and it's one of those nightmares. It was a fever dream, man, and I'm glad we didn't. But then again, I'm glad that season's all over with now, knowing just how that chapter ended. And so we're in a new chapter now. It's all what it is. We can sit here and talk about Lincoln Riley all we want, but then again, I will never speak bad on that man's name outside of coaching. That dude was an amazing coach for Oklahoma, and like I said, you can't take away his Big 12 championships, his accomplishments as a head coach, his Heisman winners, his recruiting classes. You can't take that away from him. You can't take away some of the plays that we've never ever seen in Oklahoma history, let alone college football history, that we may never see again in Norman or anywhere that we step foot at. I can't ever take that away from him. He was such a fantastic coach, and he's definitely a family man. He was a fantastic guy. Super nice guy. You know, down to earth type of guy. From all I've heard about him, he's just an amazing guy. And outside of what he did, and I'm pretty sure there's some type of him feeling bad, but yeah, it's just something that we're just gonna have to I'm not gonna say brush under the table or the carpet, but um, at some point I think Oklahoma will end up forgiving him. But for that to happen, Oklahoma's going to have to be successful. But at the same time, there's going to be a bunch of backlash just because it's going to be more of, oh, look what Brent did in this time than what Lincoln Riley did. I'll always have that type of respect for Lincoln as a coach. As a person, just one bad fuck up it's not enough to say that, I can't hate the guy. Of course, the wound's still there. It's definitely going to be a scar. It sucks that we have to share that with USC now, a different fan base, instead of it just being mainly at Oklahoma. It sucks, but at the same time, you gotta think this dude has a family. He has kids. He has 2 girls, and so he's just doing what's best for them. I don't think it really was for more of himself. I really don't. I think it was more for his family. His wife has been talking about moving to California for years. And so it is what it is. Like I said, it's going to leave scars. And that's okay. That's sports for you. That's sports. That's a business world. That's it, But at the time, it was definitely it was scary because you didn't know what was next. And then whenever Bob took the podium, that's whenever he calmed the crowd, and I've never seen something like that. And I don't think I ever will again. I hope I don't. But Bob, like I said, whenever Lincoln left, it was some of the scariest shit I have ever witnessed as an Oklahoma fan. Not losing to Texas, not losing to Oklahoma State, not losing the playoff game. Not sitting there wondering if Baker Mayfield's going to be a Heisman winner or Kyler Murray's going to be a Heisman winner. Not like that at all. The only thing that came close to being that fucking scared and upset was losing Austin Box. And I gotta say, we were all scared. We were scared, but pissed at the same time, where it just turned into pure just fucking hatred. And I remember that. I remember sitting on Twitter just seeing everybody talking about it, and I was one of them. It was just one of those things that over time he'll get forgiven, but like I said, I've never been that type of scared, that type of upset, not that type of angry over anything sports-wise. Only ever since like Kevin Durant leaving type of thing, But whenever Bob, if you were watching at that time, Bob took that podium, and I swear to God, time stopped. Time stopped for about 15 minutes. Just to hear that man speak and control a crowd and ease your mind at home, wherever you were watching. Sitting there easing your mind, letting you know that, Oklahoma is a destination for any head coach. And being told that Oklahoma football was not invented by Lincoln Riley or Bob Stoops, Barry Switzer, Bud Wilkinson, Benny Owens. Being told that sitting at home after everything that's gone on, saying that the kids are the program, not them. And hearing him say that, it's, at the time, yeah, I was absolutely, choking up type of thing. Like, that shit hit home, and it still does, at the same time, because that dude, Bob, I don't think you're going to find a more caring man for a program. And if it's going to be anybody else, it's going to be Brent Venables, after he retires. Bob definitely did not have to take over as interim head coach. Bob didn't have to go stand up at that podium. But the fact that he stood up that podium with Barry Switzer in the back sitting there in his chair watching him, that says a lot. Being told that Oklahoma is a destination and Oklahoma will always be Oklahoma, and the story about how Bob took over in 1998 on how bad of a shape this program was, and him saying whenever coach is coming here taking over this program is a hell of a lot better shape than he did in 1998. That shit, that speaks volume. You know, that's big time. Like, shit, I'm sitting here like, I don't want to start crying over that shit, but damn, I mean, Bob controlled that damn crowd, and I will never forget that until the day I die. It's like Bob was speaking right into your damn heart. And it was reassuring and just let all of us know that, you know, we're going to get our guy, and damn right, we found our guy, and I believe that. It was fun with Lincoln Riley. It was absolutely fantastic. It was fun. It was exciting. You know, everything that he did, we've never seen before. You know, back-to-back Heisman winners. Just mesmerizing plays that you'd never even think of can happen. He did it. One of the most knowledgeable offensive head coaches to ever step foot in the college football game, let alone even the next level of football that he hasn't even touched yet. Lincoln Riley was an absolute. He is an absolute mastermind, and there's no replacing that guy. But what we have coming, it's going to be an absolute stunner for sure. I mean that good, and I mean that bad. You know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can tell you, I'm ready for the ride because at the time, you know, I know what we're getting as a head coach. Whenever we hired Lincoln Riley, we didn't know. We didn't know at all. We just know he was an offensive coordinator who, you know, thrived at his job. From East Carolina at that, came in and took an offensive coordinator job at Oklahoma under Bob Stoops, and then handed the keys to the palace after Bob retired. We didn't know what we were getting. I can tell you right now what we're getting with Brent Venables. We're just getting a guy that's going to fucking, as a head coach, that man will love you, even as an opposing head coach. If I'm talking to an opposing fan base right now, he's going to treat you guys with respect either way. But during game time, it's going to be, you know, these going to be dogs. He's going to have every single pissed off dog out there. Just go look. I mean, it's how he is. That's the nature he is. He's a great guy on and off the field at the same time. But whenever it comes to him doing what he's doing best, and he's out for the kill, you know, and bringing Schmitty back, you know, it's just like two peas in a pod there. Brent and Schmitty, it makes total sense. Being able to have these former Oklahoma players come in and letting them know that this is your home and you're always welcome here. If you need anything, you come to my desk. Him saying that to every single former football player in general and having them all come out to the spring game to honor them, never been done before in college football history. Ever. Ever. Didn't even do it. Dabo didn't even do that at Clemson. You know, and that's all Brent. That's all Brent. But just in general, I know what we're getting. And I'm not going to be the guy that's going to sit here and do what I did past 5 years of when we get this class, it's going to be real deal. These dudes are transforming these kids in over weeks types of things. It doesn't matter what the recruit class looks like anymore. And I can still sit here and we're going to still have top 10 recruit classes. That's no secret, but I can still sit here and tell you it doesn't matter what the recruit classes look like anymore. The best guys are going to get on that field. Whoever works their ass off the hardest, whoever hits the hardest, whoever sacks the hardest, whoever just does whatever they want the hardest is going to be playing. Not because your name, not because you had a good week in practice. It ain't going to be that at all. And so I can sit here and tell you that whenever it's going to come, there's going to be a championship back in Norman. And it's so fucking soon. And I can't reassure anybody that. It's going to be fucking soon. Not a Big 12 championship. That'll be back too. But it's going to be really fucking soon. And I can't put that in any other words. Oklahoma will be national champions again, very, very, very soon. And I don't care if you're a Texas fan, Oklahoma State fan. Yes, a national championship. Like I said, I don't care if you're a Texas fan, Oklahoma State fan, Nebraska fan, Alabama fan. You know something's up whenever you're talking shit on the team. You know something's up when I would really think so. Because what's happening with Alabama and A&M, what's possibly happening with the NIL deal through court, a lot of people are going to get shit. Lots of schools are going to get shit hammered, and we're going to get shit for saying, "Whoa, it's almost like the Dodgers championship." You know, it was a shortened season. Well, in our case, it'd be teams that are getting penalized for doing the wrong. But it's a national championship at the end of the damn day. You can't take away what the Astros did. Can't. You can say it's asterisks all you want. They still won it. Dodgers won it in the 60 game season. And shit. We're going to keep going about it. At the end of the day, it's down in the history books. Oklahoma State has a 1945 national championship. We can't take that away from them. There's nothing illegal about, claiming national championships. They have one, and you can, jokes all aside, that's it. I mean, whenever do you think there will be a 12-team playoffs at all? Yeah, I think there will be more. I think there will be a more team playoffs. Just because you got to think now, bringing Oklahoma and Texas over the SEC, you're almost guaranteed 2 SEC teams every single year. The rights to the playoffs end in 2025, and so that should be around about time whenever Oklahoma and Texas do join. Well, have already joined. It'll be around that time. Unless it gets renewed for some reason, which I seriously doubt it. So, it'll be fun. I'm really excited for that, and that's what that's what college needs in general, is a bigger playoff. Because teams are out to upset people, And you're not going to be able to see that with just a 4-team playoff with 2 SEC teams. That's just unfair. That's totally unfair, and that's me speaking as a Big 12 fan, Pac-12, watcher, Big 10 watcher. That's just not fair. That's not fair at all. ACC watcher, it's not fair. Having 2 SEC teams overpowering. I mean, again, that's more. The odds are SEC is going to be getting money either way. That's all right. It's football talk now. It's a lot of things that I talk about is either have been talked about, what sounds really good in my head that makes the most sense, or it's shit talking. This is one of my times that I'm really not going to sit here and shit talk because, again, usually whenever the shit talking happens, there's always something up. Nothing will ever take away from me shit talking Oklahoma State or Texas. Nothing you can say, do, or anything like that. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it's going to be. We shit talk Alabama because they're winning. That'd be really awesome. That would be sick. But there's a reason why we shit talk Alabama. It's because they're winners. There's a reason why we shit talk Ohio State. There's a reason why we shit talk LSU. There's a reason why you didn't get to hear it last year, because they just fell off. There's reasons behind that. There's a reason why we talk shit on the Yankees, because they have 27 national championships. We can come up with the most excuses we want. You can't take away 27 from them. We talk shit on the Astros for cheating, which it makes sense. And I'm aware of that. And, I'm willing to take the risk of making myself look like an ass. Like a dumbass. That's me. That's my personality. I like to shit talk when it comes to that. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong with shit talking sports because it's a competitive nature, anyways. Being raised a sports fan, being raised even just in general around sports, that's something that I definitely adapted to, you know. But I was raised around it, and that's something that I will never apologize for, you know, because I enjoy it. I enjoy shit talking. I love talking about sports. I love the knowledge that I have of sports. And just in general like that, you know, being able to be a person that someone can come to and ask something about it's really fun. It's really fun to me. It's pretty cool. Uh, that's just the way it is. But nothing will ever take away from shit talking Texas or Oklahoma State. Nothing. Unless Boone Pickens wants to come back from the damn dead and give me about a small loan of $1 billion, and I might consider to quit shit talking their damn equestrian team. That's about it. So that's as far as I'll go. But no, all jokes aside, we shit talk teams that usually have something good going for them and things like that. Yeah, that's the human nature of sports in general. You know, that's the way it is. There's a reason why there's bandwagoners and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a bandwagoner at the end of the day. Okay. And that's not just me saying that because I do that with NFL teams all the time. Not like I'm going to Super Bowl winning teams, though. Let me stop myself there. At all. Nah, I've never done that. But outside of NFL, I really can't say I've ever bandwagoned. You know, but there's nothing wrong with bandwagoning at the end of the day. You know, it's you just, you know, wanting to feel successful at the end of the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And of course, that's the competitive nature of being a sports fan. Yeah, you're exposed. I'm the lion, and you're the whatever type of deer, whatever, just whatever. I'm the predator. You're the prey. You know, type of thing. Like, yeah, that's how it is with any sports fan. Type of thing. But in the day, it don't matter who you're a fan of. You know, it's if it makes you happy, then guess what? Big whoop. You know. But no, it's just sports in general, man. That's my life. That is my life. Live, shit, and breathe it. So, yeah, that's what's crazy to me. If I could have put that type of effort in just you know, high school in general, like my work, like just school work in general, if I could put that type of, like, you know, effort in my school work, I think I'd be more satisfied with myself, you know, if I could do that, and, you know, just my daily life of putting knowledge and that much of hard work of what I do, posting on Facebook or just doing research in general, reading things of sports things related. If I could do that in my daily life, you know how much easier shit could actually be, though? Like, you know what I mean? But it's just my mind don't work like that, like that. So it is what it is, you know. So nothing to really hang my head on. But no, either way, nothing wrong with being a bandwagoner either way. And I know that's not even a question that's been brought up, but again, whatever makes you happy, you know, at the end of the day, then there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So, you're still a bandwagoner, but you know, still, it is what it is, you know. Just know we know. we know. I know. I know you I know, like, just like, for example, I know you like this team at one point, and I know you like this team now. Just no, I know. Just know. Just know. I know. I am very aware. But just the person I am. I won't say nothing unless I absolutely have to, unless I get pissed off, no shame. But I definitely want some more sports questions. I'm having fun. I'm just having fun just sitting here talking to y'all. Well, right now it's just Riley. I don't know who else is watching, but I'm definitely having a blast. It's making my Saturday night go pretty darn quick. And so it's Saturday night anyways. It's not like I've gotten anything to do Sunday. So I'm open. I'm an open book. Sooner. Boomer Pooner. Oh, and I'm gonna have you go through some of my cards too whenever you come over, Riley. It's just, I know you're starting to collect again, so I got a bunch of cards you can go through. It'll definitely take a lot of the stuff off my hands in general, eBay's kind of slowed down for me as of lately this past month on selling and stuff, so I can give some stuff up either way. I'm not going to make you pay anything, so I mean, obviously if you see something that you like, you can ask me about it, but if it's something that's actually something like it actually means a lot to me or just to my collection, and obviously I'm going to say no, but if you see anything you want, well, let me know and we can work something out either way. So just in general, not in either way, we can throw some cards together. Just, normal cards, base cards, inserts, whatever, and just so you can have them, to collect them and stuff, get you started again. Some may have value, some may not. It's the thing about collecting. Like I'm at the stage now, it's not about kind of the price anymore. I mean, it is, because right now I'm doing my card scans and stuff like that because I want to know what my collection is really about. What do I have invested? It'd just be cool to know. So that's the only reason why I'm looking at it. But outside of that, I haven't bought any boxes lately. I haven't done anything. I mean, I've been on eBay, but buying stuff for my own collection for the Rangers is usually what I'm doing. I'm expanding my Texas Rangers collection by a lot. I have over 300 Rangers cards alone that are not autographed or jersey cards. I probably have about 25, 30 autograph / jersey cards of just Texas Rangers. So I'm looking to, up my Rangers collection even more. It's just one of those things that at the end of the day, that's my team. I've kind of fallen off the football aspect and basketball aspect. No, they were the Washington Senators before the 70s. Well, obviously they were in Washington. Ted Williams, who is, top 5 greatest baseball players of all time, he was our head coach. He was our manager at the beginning, and which sucks. He sucked, but still a cool thing to have, And one thing about managers, big name players, such as Ted Williams being a top 5 guy in baseball and becoming a manager, I think why those guys are so terrible as managers and stuff, just in sports in general. It's because, they're so used to not being the common player, and you don't know how to coach those guys because, you have a God-gifted talent that, you just go absolutely apeshit with, You take every bit out of that and you're not a common player. But whenever common players, take over as head coaches, such as the Braves, the Braves manager, who was a shortstop for them for the longest time, he was just mediocre and just flat, nothing special. But look what he's done for them. Ron Washington, one of the Rangers' old managers, Used to be with the Twins, and we can keep going down the line. You know, he was never a great player at all, but he makes a great coach. Third base coach now, but manager for the time. Dusty Baker's another guy who's a manager for the Astros right now. Derek Jeter was good, but I do think we give Jeter too much credit of what he really was about. You know, if you go look up his defensive stats, they were nowhere stellar of what we make them out to be. I think Jeter's a bit overrated, but he was still one of those guys that were around my childhood that I still actually have to pay absolute respect for. You know, and I agree with what you're saying, Riley. I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with you at all. He's just one of those guys that was around my childhood that I can always say that he was my first shortstop to ever really pay attention to, and you know, I know who he is to this day, and I can sit here and tell you a lot of the things that Derek Jeter did right, you know, but I still think at the end of the day he's not as great as what everybody has made him out to be. Brett Gardner, he's definitely one of the last guys from the last Yankees championship that's, you know, still around. He's a free agent this year, but he wants to go back to New York, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. But Brett Gardner, to me, and I've been saying it for the past about 4 or 5 years, Brett Gardner would make an amazing manager, or bench coach in general to start out, but he would make a great manager in the MLB. I'm not even saying with being a Yankee manager. He's just one of those guys that understands, you know, the game itself, and he's not one of those stellar, you know, players whatsoever. Even at his prime, he was nothing special compared to what the Yankees had at the time. And so Gardner, I think, would be an awesome manager for just the game of baseball itself. But speaking on Dusty Baker, he's the Houston Astros manager right now, which I don't remember what milestone he hit and wins, but there's only been like 3 or 4 managers to do it and wins total. But he was nothing special. He was with the A's for the most part, but he was nothing special at all. But he's been able to manage. Grandpa Posey was an awesome Cubby. He was literally like a... Do what now? Alright, I'm confused, Riley. Grandpa Posey. But, Dusty Baker's definitely... He's managed a lot of really good baseball teams. A lot of good players, too. Who was it? Who are you saying? Grandpa Posey? Who is that? Grandpa. The only Posey that I really know, that I can tell you I know right off the top of my head is Buster Posey, but he was a catcher for the Giants his whole career. I don't think I know anybody else. Posey. Maybe you are talking about Buster. Maybe you got things mixed up. All right. You might be talking about Buster, Riley. Oh, David Ross, the manager for the Cubs. Yeah, he was part of the World Series team back in, I don't remember what year they won it, but he was the catcher for them / just bench roll guy type of thing. But yeah, David Ross, absolutely. He really hasn't had a shot to prove himself as a manager yet, but with the talent that the Cubs have inherited ever since moving on from Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, guys like that, he's definitely got a small talent. That's sports, man. Well, that's me. I can actually say that's baseball for you. You know, that game of baseball is just full of wonder. You know, that's what makes it fun. Basketball, no, I don't think MLB's rigged at all, and that's one of the only sports I can actually sit back and actually defend like that. Sure, there, like I said, there's nasty umpires. There's corrupt umpires like Angel Hernandez, stuff like that, 100%. But I don't think there's umpires out there that'll sit there and throw a game like that. Because again, there's a reason why there's review out there and stuff. But when it comes to that, I think baseball is one of the most realistic sports you can think of. That and golf, I think, that golf and hockey are the three sports I can actually sit back and say I don't think are rigged at all. At all. Because again, you really can't rig a guy throwing 100 miles an hour and hitting a walk-off home run. You can't rig that. I don't know about. Don't ask me about tennis. That I don't know. That I wouldn't think so. Things like NBA and NFL, I'd probably say are probably the two most rigged pro sports. Have got to be, at least. Again, that's still opinionated, but I still think baseball and golf are probably your top that are, definitely. It's kind of hard to rig if there was any rigging, But I'm pretty sure. Do I think they'll let him ever win again? The sheesh, I don't know. Good question. I don't know. I'm not saying the whole game's completely rigged, I think it's more corrupt than rigged. I still think there's just a shit ton of refs out there that know what they're doing. They definitely are aware of what the plan is. But I don't think it's, as rigged as I make it sound. But at the same time, it kind of is. If that makes any sense. No. So. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Riley. You're right. You are correct. But still, that's still a very small percent of that league. Just any sports in general. There's still that very small percentile of those guys. Everybody in sports has that small percentage of those guys. Baseball, tennis. Yeah, hell, Tiger Woods at one point was in trouble for something. And it's just there's a really just small percent. But you're right. Yes, you're right. Whenever I'll say you're not right is whenever we go a full off season of any sports that'll say nobody got arrested or is in any legal trouble. So you have every right to even say you have right to say that, and I do too. But there's definitely it's definitely a small percent of it all. Yeah, I heard Tiger withdrew. I heard his right leg was really messing with him, but it is what it is. I'm really excited to see what Abraham Answer can do. He's 5th right now, former Oklahoma golfer. So it'd be fun to see what he can do. I'm hoping Spieth can maybe pull some magic out of the hat tomorrow, but the way it's looking, probably not. But then again, I've seen Spieth play a million times. He's came back from better than +5. You know what I'm saying? 5 over. He's came back from a lot off of that, but it's gonna be tough. It'll be tough. Let me see what we're dealing with here with Spieth. Let me get my app. Jordan Spieth's tied for 45th with 5 over. He had he went 4 over today, and you know, the leader in all of it's 9 under, which is going to be tough to come back. But then again, golf is probably still one of the most predictable sports known to man. And you know, who knows? He can just have a bad day tomorrow, and you know, there's going to be random golfers that will come up and win that. You know, that's what's so fun to me about golf. You know, there's someone always new every single week that are just, you know, going absolutely crazy out there. And you know, some of the best names in golf, you know, are just, you know, playing bad. You know, it's that, you know, that should explain it to you. Scotty Scheffler, the Masters winner, has got cut from the championship because he didn't make the cut line. You know, so it's really just dependent on the player at the, you know, on that day. You know, so golf is so much fun to me to watch. I absolutely love watching. I love watching it. I could sit there for hours upon hours upon hours from start to finish to watching golf. And I'm still learning players, you know, but I know a lot of players in general. I follow a lot of them, but just I will say Jordan Spieth is my number one. He's been my number one since 2014, since he stepped into the damn thing, into PGA. But Abraham Answer, Bubba Watson, Sam Burns, another guy, Rory, of course, Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, Hideki Matsuyama, John Rahm, Maverick McNeely, Dustin Johnson, Scotty Scheffler, John Daly, and then, of course, Tiger. You know, just a bunch of guys that that I like to cue you on watching on, just in general, keeping up with on my app. No, you really can't see it, but just a bunch of guys that I like to keep up with in general. But yeah, there's a guy named Davis Riley who debuted in PGA in 2019, but I think he's the next upcoming guy for the sport. And I paid attention to him the past 2 years, and he's been looking really, really sharp this season in PGA. And so I'm starting to follow him a little bit more in general. I don't think he's ever, like, I can't say that he's going to take the top spot for Spieth, but he's definitely going to be in probably right behind him for me. So I'm really excited for him, which he's sitting, let me see here again. He's sitting tied for 10th right now. He's 1 under, and again, the leader's 9 under. So, but tied for 10th, not bad at all, you know. So I'm more flexible in golf than I am with other sports, you know. I mean, I definitely have, like, again, I definitely have my guys that I'm going to root for, but Jordan Spieth being my main one. If Abraham Answer ends up winning it tomorrow, it's going to be a good win, just because we're OU, you know, I'm an OU fan, but I never paid to Abraham Answer like I do to him now, like when he was at OU. But if he won it tomorrow, some way, somehow, it wouldn't be a celebration, you know. It's going to be like, yeah, that's pretty damn cool. It'd be different if it was Jordan Spieth. You know, Jordan Spieth is just my favorite golfer. Just in the history of golf. I love watching the guy. I mean, it's just, I don't care if he's a Longhorn or not. He's just a fun guy to watch for me. So, but like other sports and stuff like baseball, I have absolutely opened up to just my fandom in general of players. I just have a plethora of favorite players now, which I'm so happy I'm able to do. You know, instead of just holding grudges against certain teams, like the Padres, I held a damn grudge ever since 2021 because of the whole, you know, Grand Slam incident being up so much. You know, I held a grudge on Tatis, but why hold the grudge? That dude's one of the best shortstops in the game. You know, I love watching him. That dude's a legit, you know, baller out there. He's awesome to watch. He's electric whenever he's out there playing. But there's a bunch of guys that I just can sit here and just name off to you that I just love watching in baseball. You know, bunch of fun guys. Bunch of guys that you probably never even heard of that are on teams, you know. But just in general, it's just, I love watching these guys grow. because everybody's so young, and I just want to be a fan of these guys, just the young guys, I'm just being here from start, and I'm actually going to be able to watch them finish instead of growing up and watching their peak to the finish, not the struggles up to their peak and things like that. Now I'm absolutely getting to see that, and I'm so freaking happy, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm gonna appreciate watching these guys because certain players that we're never ever going to be able to see again. So that's what's fun about it. NBA, NFL, I'm absolutely going to be stingy with that, but I may loosen up at some point. But baseball has become absolutely so much more fun for me to watch this year and a little bit last year. No, I wouldn't say a little bit last year, a lot last year. Last year was the first year I actually became 100% invested in the sport again in the past probably 3 or 4 years. And so I've been absolutely just loving it, and it's just going to suck because I just know playoffs are going to be right around the corner for some damn reason. Once All-Star game hits, it's whenever everything speeds up for some damn reason, and it's just, well, season's over. But I'm going to get off here tonight. It was fun talking to you, Riley, and, Victor and Lane whenever you stopped in. It was fun. I'm hoping to have some more conversations like this, but I'm probably about to fall asleep where I'm at right now if I don't get up. So I will talk to y'all later, and hopefully I'll go live tomorrow. I'll let y'all know. So.